Hello friends, a very warm welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to learn the steps to manage the on-premises hosted Windows Server 2025 by using Azure ARC. This is the server which we are going to manage by using Azure ARC. I have already assigned the computer name to this server, which is VM2025. This server is a part of the work group. In your lab, if in case you want to follow the same steps for the member server, you can follow that. I have already disabled the IE enhanced security configuration. Now, you need to ensure that the internet is working on this server. So let's go and confirm that. Out here, you can see that I can go to portal.azure.com, which confirms that the internet is working on this server. Now, the very first thing what we need to do is that let's go and search for Azure ARC. So here we can see an option of Azure ARC. Click on it. Now, on the left-hand side, expand the Azure ARC resources and click on Machines. When you click on Machines, out here you will see all these servers that you are managing by using Azure ARC. When I say all these servers, I'm referring to the on-premises servers which you are managing by using Azure ARC. You will not be able to see your Azure virtual machines over here. So as of now, we don't see any servers under the machines section. So which means we are not managing any of these on-premises servers by using Azure ARC. Now, to manage our very first server, click on Add or Create. Now here we have the option which says Add a machine. So let's click on that. Out here, we can see multiple different options. We're going to talk about each of these options in the future videos. As of now, we are just onboarding one single server, which means we need to select add a single server. But if in case in your environment, you wanted to manage or onboard multiple different servers, then you need to click on add multiple servers. Now for this lab purpose, let's click on generate script for add a single server. The very first thing now, what you need to do is that select the subscription in which you want to onboard your on-premises server. As of now, I only have one single subscription. That's the reason I'm not able to see all of the subscriptions. So I'm selecting it. Now, for the resource group, if in case you already have a resource group, you can select that, or you can also create a new resource group. For this lab purpose, I already have my resource group, which is RK ARC 001. So let me select that. Now, the next thing is the region. Now, region means the region in which you are planning to host the server. So I am assuming the server is in East US. So I'll select East US. Now, the next thing is important, which is the operating system. Out here, we can see two different operating systems. The first one is the Windows. The second one is the Linux. Depending on the operating system, which is deployed on top of the on-premises server, you need to select that operating system. In my case, we are going to onboard Windows Server 2025, which has a Windows operating system. That's the reason I'm selecting Windows. But if in case you have a Linux operating system deployed on the on-premises server, then you can select Linux. So let's click on Windows, and the next step is SQL Server. It says connect SQL Server, so which is not part of the scope of this video. So I'll uncheck this option. Now the next step is the connectivity method. So out here, we can see three different options. The first option talks about the public endpoint. Public endpoint means we have the direct internet available on our server, which is true in this scenario because we have the internet available on this server. And this is the same server on which we are trying to access our portal.azure.com, which means internet is working. But in case you are deploying the same in your production environment, then there is a possibility you might not have the internet running direct on your servers, and you might be using some sort of proxy servers to enable the internet on these servers. In those cases, you need to select proxy server. And if in case you're using a private endpoint, then you can select the private endpoint option, right? But out here, we are going with the first option, which is public endpoint, and then click on next. Now out here, as per your requirements, you can define the location tags. If in case you're deploying it in your production environment, then as per your requirement or as per your customer's requirement, you can define the location tags here. Now click on next. And out here, we can see this script. So what we need to do is that we need to download this script. So let me download this one and let me go to my download location. So this is where we have the script downloaded. So I'll just minimize this. What else you can do is that you can also copy the script and you can now open the PowerShell on the server on which you wanted to run this script. And you need to run the script on the server which you want to manage by using Azure ARC. In my case, in my scenario, this is the same server on which I have opened the portal.azure.com. I'll go and search for PowerShell. So now we have an option for PowerShell. Let me go here and click on Run as Administrator. Okay, so I already copied the script. So I'll right click and paste this. Okay, so once we have this pop up, now click on the browser through which you wanted to open this. And I'll say always. Out here, you need to provide your credentials so that you can log in into the Azure portal. Once the authentication is complete, you can close this and return to the PowerShell. And it says that connected machine to Azure. So out here, if we see all the processes which it ran, first of all, it is installing the Azure Connected Machine Agent. Then it checks for the total physical memory of the server, which is 8 gig in this case. It is also checking the .NET Framework version. And the next important thing which it is checking is if this machine is an Azure virtual machine or not. If this machine is an Azure virtual machine, in that case, it will throw an error message stating that you cannot deploy Azure ARC on an Azure virtual machine. But in our case, this is the on-premises hosted virtual machine. That's the reason we haven't got that error. And after that, it downloaded the agent. It established the connectivity with the Azure. It tests the connectivity to the endpoints that are needed to connect to the Azure. And after that, once the authentication was successful, it started creating the resource in Azure. And out here, we can see that connected machine to Azure, which means now this machine is connected to Azure. Now let's go back and click on close. Now close this one. And out here, still we don't see our on-premises Windows Server 2025 in Azure. Now to see the virtual machine in the Azure portal, click on refresh. Out here, we can see that our virtual machine is showing in Azure portal. Now click on the machine. Out here, we can see all the details of our virtual machine. What is the computer name? What is the FQDN name? What is the operating system? What is the operating system version? Cloud provider? No, it is not. Manufacturer, because this is the virtualized virtual machine, which I'm running on VMware. That's the reason I can see manufacturer is VMware. Our gateway is not deployed. I hope friends, you like this video and you must have learned something new. Give me a shout if in case you need any clarification or you have any additional questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. See you in next video. Till then, bye. Keep smiling.